All right. Good morning, traders.
Good morning. Good morning. Good sound and chart. I was about to ask. Thank you, Don. Good morning to you. Good morning, Doug. Okay. Just getting things set up here. Give me a minute or two. Good to see everybody. Morning, Stephen. You'll be on the road. All right. Glad you could join us, but be safe. Still need to adjust my slides for the 9:30 start time. Um, okay, so here's a quick question out of curiosity because uh, there was an issue and I couldn't get the post on Circle. I don't know what was going on with that. I was having an issue. So there's usually a 1 hour reminder that says we're starting soon. And then we usually do like, 2 minutes before, 2 minutes, 5 minutes right before. We say it's starting now. Is that a helpful reminder? Um, because it didn't come today. So I'm curious, like, are there people who get that reminder and they're like, oh, and they go pop in? Because yeah, there was a there was an issue. I couldn't get that to post. So if you're like, oh, I didn't get my reminder, that's why. Mm. But as that happened, I was like, huh, I wonder how useful it is. Hi, Peter. Good to see you. Um, we'll keep doing it just because it's kind of habitual, but I'm just curious when we don't do it, are there people who were like, ah, I missed my reminder? Welcome to the Wednesday Market Midpoint, brought to you by Options Income Launchpad. My name is Scott. I'll be your host. Disclaimers. As always, this is for education and illustrative purposes. We're not brokers or advisors, and therefore we do not give anything that constitutes personalized investment advice. No recommendations to buy or sell. Any decisions you make should be at your own risk. When my pop-up for meeting comes up, it said 9:15. It did. Um, wait, like you mean my slides that I'm showing now or the reminder messages? The messaging from hmm, let me see. So you don't mean this. This says 9:15 before the meeting opens. Well, let me see. Oh, yeah. Okay. That's actually on Zoom. I didn't know that actually ever gets displayed anywhere. Like it doesn't really matter. There's a meeting and it starts when I start it and ends when I end it. But okay. That's good to know. I'll go make adjustments to all of those. I know what you're speaking about now. I'll eliminate the confusion. Okay. Let's get started. Let's look at the open. How's it looking? Market, it's there was JP Morgan had not very good. Something was wrong with their earnings. I didn't see exactly what it was. They missed, but financials overall were a little bit of a drag yesterday. We'll look at what's going on with our posture, mindset for open trades. Um, Unlikely to have many left right now, looking for new opportunities. A lot of silver shorts. Oh, silver shorts could be getting, if there's a lot of shorts that are thinking, oh, it's going to drop, they're going to get squoze. And if they start covering, then they produce a short squeeze and boop, boop, boop. Then it hits 100. We had a little quiz yesterday as it sits around 90. We said, is it going to hit 80 first or 100 first? 81st or 101st? Anyway, we'll go through setups. We'll talk about trading plans. We'll do all of those fun and exciting things. Let's get some charts up here. Let's go. Let's take a look at everything in here. Man, Yahoo can't seem to be like it's like up here one day and then it's over here on the right one day. It's like we are currently experiencing some issues. Data is delayed. Okay. Um, well, we'll just look at the news. Google's Apple AI deal marks huge loss for OpenAI. You wouldn't even know it. I mean, they're still until they go public, it's you have no idea what's going on in there. Futures were down with bank earnings tariff ruling in focus. The thing about the SCOTUS rulings is they're very random. Like, there's no set time where they're gonna like, oh, now we'll announce it. Is that not right? Like, it could be months still, as far as I understand. Is there anything that makes us think that there's an imminent ruling on that? Like, it's gonna be in the next little bit? I feel like things around this case and this ruling amp up unnecessarily when it's like, well, could be a while. Am I wrong about that? Someone tell me. They did say about 2 weeks. Okay, that's the court themselves, or these are like people watching who are just estimating. The court did. All right, well then, um, there we go. Bank of America and Wells Fargo. Okay, so BAC is on our list. Let's just pop in there. That was one that we said if it can. Oh, and look at that. Okay, so let's talk about that. We were saying, can it survive earnings? Can it hold? Can it get ready for a turn? And if so, then it's a maybe for us. And you can see that they were expecting 95, they got 98. They exceeded expectations and they dropped. So what's likely happened is uh the expectations set, the guidance must most likely was underwhelming. They had good profits, they made money, they maybe exceeded expectations. I mean, they did exceed expectations, not by a lot. Wells Fargo, let's look at Wells Fargo. Let's look at Citi too. Here's Wells Fargo. Let's see the reaction there. Same thing. Enough's not it's not enough, right? These guys, well, actually these guys missed expectations. Millions of ounces of silver shorts margins. Well, the margins are there's a deadline. Like, I don't know, is it the end of this week that they're implementing higher margin requirements on silver, which um, actually could put a little bit of selling pressure, right? Because if people start getting margin calls because there's now a higher margin requirement, they'll have to sell to cover, sell some contracts that they're long, and that would. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. Let's take a look. Silver's here, 83.38. Let's look at the contracts. Nope. Hold on. Hold on. 90, this was sitting about 91. We hit as high as 92 today. Um, on the futures. Some of the spot prices are probably higher than that even. Um, yeah, it's in a frenzy for sure. Interesting to watch. Let's go take a look at today's SPY. Another day of pullback. Now, yesterday we only dropped like 0.2% on average volume. Today, we're dropping a little bit. Now, here's the deal. We did just hit a new high. So even if we drop from here, we're dropping from a new high. It's is it substantially higher? No, but it's a new high, which says that this current upward movement is still intact. The last time the sellers came, they didn't do much. The time before, they didn't do much. The time before was a big one, right? That was in here. But as of right now, yeah, be careful with trades that you're in. One that we you may or may not still be in is here. Steven said, "Give it till Wednesday." It's Wednesday. Market's down. Macy's is holding up at its support level. Um, yeah, it's a tough one because it's got to do some work over the next couple of days for me. Otherwise, it's this was about not bailing down here, but pairing the loss and having a smaller loss, or it's gotta get moving um, now. Uh, oh, I didn't mean to do that. Can I undo that? Yeah, there we go. And I want let's just kind of pull this over and be like, well, what if it started here? It's got to move. It made some good efforts and then just sort of fell apart here. Looked like it was going to be a good one. Now it's holding up, but we'll see. Who's in it? How much patience do you got for it? Another one where you may still have a piece is here on Walmart. Got as high as 121 today. Still higher than yesterday. We talked about how might you tighten stops. You can see I could be here 117, and by the halfway point of today I could have my stop up here closer to 119. By tomorrow it would be right. So this could help you, or you might just find, you get a sense that the momentum is declining. Does anyone still have some of this? Let me know. If anyone's still managing a piece. Didn't look like anyone had any Macy's, at least. Does anyone have Walmart still? Is everything shut down? Um, that was a good one. Still in. Thank you, Kent. Well done. What's your thought on this? Tighten stop. See if it still has more. Little pinch happening here. Hit the high, but yeah, I'm in one last piece as well. My last piece, and trying to see what I'm gonna do with it. Not. Oh gosh, goodness, yes, 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 yes. In fact, for me at this point, I would actually say, today's low is, or today's open is the low, 120.19. If it breaks the low, I'd be like, yeah, I'm done. I'm out. I'll take that 120.05. I'm still a dollar ahead of the previous target. Um, I'm not gonna let it. I'm not gonna let it give too much back now that it's done this. M still in. Okay, yeah, Craig. I'm looking for something in the next couple of days, or Friday will be, you know, if it's meandering. Steven said still in with Macy's. Okay. All right. That all makes sense. Those are some good trade management discussions with some live examples for learning experiences, of course, as everything we do is for education and illustrative purposes. Okay. There's some concern. This is what I wanted to get to. Tell me if you've already looked at the VIX today and already, you know, said, "Ooh, well, I don't think I like this." This is going to now, unless, and I've seen it happen. We are 17 minutes into the day. We can't make a lot of um big assumptions. If we come across here, this is the old high. We're marginally below that at this point, but this could be the extreme for all we know. At the end of today, if the second half of today recovers, this could fall back down and even end up right, those 2 days could be the same day. One's the morning, and by the afternoon it looks like this. And if it does, we're still sort of in this range. But as of right now, this looks like it is heading towards a more higher level and getting concerning. Concerning. Good news. You know, we've at least for the most recent round of like alerts, we've closed. We've had a little reluctance. Ideally, we're getting two alerts a week, but as of this week, correct me if I'm wrong, this really for some swing trades, it hasn't been a lot that we've found appealing for new entries. And I believe our discretion has been warranted, especially as we see what's happening now. Um, and the last remaining trades both have some measure of defensive quality. State Bank, Walmart, and Macy's are both up today and showing one is at the very, very end of its life. Most people out of it. A couple people have remnants left. And the other one is struggling and likely to be shut down for a loss, but hopefully a smaller loss. Certainly not a stop out loss was avoided. So, okay, VIX concerning. We're watching it. We'll keep our eye on it. Don't be hasty. We've seen recoveries before. Here's an example. Look at this one over here. You can see that at one point in the day, it was like breaking through everything. And by the end of the day, it was right back down at the old. And then from there, it actually dropped. And that was likely. Let's go see what that bullish move was on the SPY. It's a good example of what can be from one. Now, if you go look at what the market did from that point, it went from here to there. That's a beautiful swing. A beautiful swing that you almost would have missed because you were like, oh, the VIX is spiking. And then at the end it didn't. And so um is that helpful to kind of see like, hey, how do I actually connect the VIX to the market real time? Like what did it do? What happened next after something like this where it spikes up and it comes back down? So be patient. Let's watch. If you look at this right now, you don't look at this and think, oh my gosh, look how much fear the market has. I bet there's a bunch of institutional selling and hedging, right? You wouldn't think that because it's just a 0.5% pullback. At the end of the day, we might, based on the amount of volume we have, but that looks like a little bit of an early overreaction from the VIX. We'll check in on it as we get closer to wrapping up. Okay, so let's talk about it then. What are we doing today? We who still has swing trades they're managing? Who has swing trades they're considering? Who's day trading? Let's pop to the top of the list. Whoops. Ooh, I did that wrong. Hold on. Apple. Yeah, you can kind of see my concern with Apple as it got those first three, four buy days. It's white, but it's very small. There's not a lot of volume. And it looks like that downward consolidation is already starting to. I mean, today's just kind of an iffy day anyway. It's a lot of red. A lot of red today. Not everywhere though. AMKR, this it's red, but it's look at it. The sellers literally have like every opportunity to come in and what's happening. Hardly anything. The ES, they trade in the ES. Okay. A few swings left, Kent. Um, I mean, honestly, like if this gets a little bit of a pullback, we'll be fine. But as of right now, it's the sellers have the floor. And they're just really not doing much with it. Amazon consolidating. This looks great. This looks like it's coming into a setup. Amazon is leading the way. This is the 800-pound gorilla in the consumer discretionary space. Just had a nice breakout with volume. You can see that. We know there's some room. There's a great trade or two setting up here, even as it tests 260 or new highs. Swinging on Micron. Ooh, Micron's a mover and a shaker. Credit stocks still struggling. Bank stocks now um, getting hit with some earnings. Citigroup. Okay, so Citi opened actually up for the day and moved higher, and then the sellers came in. Um, Amazon, Google. Google's been beautiful. I've had a trade on Google that's just been going and going, kind of a steady Eddie. Was about to start running out of time. It looks like today may be the end of the day, or end of the road for me. Now this is in. Now here's the deal. It's still above the 50. What did these guys do? 164. They got one. So they missed, but they're holding up. I don't know. I'll keep watching. This one looks like it has more ability to recover from earnings. Caterpillar hitting some resistance. Sienna pausing. Coherent still going, but it's going to be hitting some resistance right here for sure. Cisco on a pullback. Okay, so Cisco, we maybe could look for a sneaky reversal. We could say, hey, that consolidation got broken here. And if this pulls back, I would probably maybe draw like this. If this pulls back like this and sits, and then all of a sudden starts to turn again, I'd be like, oh yeah, that's kind of a little sneaky reversal there. Um, don't really see much of an example of that. You can see there was a nice one, kind of like that right there, where it just popped up, pulled back, and then went. Yeah. So Cisco could be setting up, could be developing. Down today, Delta's holding up after earnings. How did they do? They beat earnings. Nice. Okay. Ford. Ooh. Bob Rowland came at night last night, threw this at us. And I said, okay, now this is looking nice. Kind of a flag type pattern. This wouldn't quite be enough. It's didn't get back even to the previous. I would watch this one today, but it could be close. Um, Last move was about $1.40. I'd maybe look for 15.50 as a target. the long term on this look like? 1542 is its all time. Yeah, I'd say it could make a run up there. So maybe 1540 could be something setting up in Ford. This is one that I like right here. Definitely looking for something here. You can see it's a little bit started to converge. This selling pressure is slowing down here, holding at this old level. I like the way that this is setting up. I would love to see if this moves into a swing trade opportunity here towards the end of the week. GE rolling over today. Gold is up today, but down from its open. General Motors just kind of a little sideways. There's Google. You can see we had kind of this uh, falling star doji type pattern, this long tail up here, and then today seems to be confirming to the downside. Stochastics crossing, not got a nice move out of it. Then what? Look for consolidation and trade bullishly again. It's a very, very good bullish stock. We've had multiple trades on Google, some more successful than others. I don't think this was an alert, but we talked about it, and there was a number of us that I think took a trade around this time. Okay, so Goldman and Morgan are going to do exactly what Bank of America and Citi did tomorrow. They're going to report in the morning. So here's Goldman. Still looks fine as of now, but we saw what happened, right? Bank of America gapped down. Let's scroll to Morgan. Still looks fine now, but they report earnings also in the morning tomorrow. Um, I would say that Bank of America fell out of favor. Citigroup is still okay, still above the 50, still holding on, a little bit stronger. We'll see what the end of the day brings. um, yeah, so Goldman and Morgan, we're just going to have to watch and see how those come out. Howmet, a little overextended, but it's a strong industrial. I forgot to do it yesterday. Everyone's going to remember to remind me. Remember to remind on Thursday to search. They're going to be like, Scott, don't do anything but search. Who commits to that for me? We've got to make it a group effort. I'm a creature of habit. Otherwise, I'm just going to jump right into analyzing and talking about we need to do search and watch list maintenance. I know there are better industrial stocks, at least two or three that should be on our list for the next pullback on that group. IBM is kind of flat. Um, good one, Gabe. uh, love it. Intel still holding up, but you can see a little bit of signs of stress now. It's pulling back, turning a little red. Earnings are coming up on this one. That was a magnificent trade. Um, Great way to start the year. Booking trades like Intel and Walmart and Amcor. Gotta love it. Good start to January. Although January's halfway through, so I guess it's not really a start. Little bit of a slowdown now, looking for the next window. Small caps, you can see though everything seems to be doing the same thing right now. Hitting some resistance, rolling overbought, starting to cross. Lumentum, we said, oh, I don't know, it's pretty volatile. It's already back down 6%. Eli Lilly chopping around. I don't know why I'm watching this. I wouldn't trade it. I'm gonna get rid of it. It's off my list. LRCX, okay. I'd love to see a trade set up here. Pulling back. Plenty of time before earnings for one more run. This was Oftentimes, when you get these, they tend to come in at least pairs as it accelerates. So maybe there's one more to come. Let's see. Sorry, lost my train of thought on this chart. I mean, this could be by Friday, right? We could see a sideways and then start to turn, and it could be fast. One, two, three, four consolidation, big move out of it. PSLV and XOM. Okay, ExxonMobil, Macy's. Oh, Macy's. Steven with his predictions. Um, Steven said he'll be doing some searches. Love it. Macy's making a move up to a 2.5%, trying to get back in the game. Give us a reason to hold through the weekend. If it's on this trajectory, I'll hold through the weekend. Um, Tomorrow's the 15th. That's Thursday. Nope, leave it there. And then Friday, it needs to be at or above 22.85. If it's in this trajectory, I'll hold and see if it goes into next week and gives me something. That's probably. I'm not going to be like, oh, well, I'll be flexible as it goes, but that's just as I look at it now, my thought process. We'll check in on it tomorrow evening when we do some searching. MasterCard down, Meta um down. You can see it's taken out this low here. It's really kind of feeling like it's going to head back towards this this level here. Struggling. Earnings not too far away. Morgan, well, they're down about 2%. We got earnings tomorrow, which is really going to be the deciding factor where we weren't looking to trade in front of earnings anyways. Microsoft, new lows. So if you're wondering like the struggles of the Nasdaq when you look at the Qs or technology, if you look at any tech fund, if you look at the Nasdaq, Apple is about 11% of the Nasdaq, and Microsoft, I believe, is 9. And look at what these have been doing. These two behemoths back here, it was magical. Apple was doing phenomenally well. We traded Apple a number of times. Um, Microsoft, we've dabbled on it a couple of times. Um, I can't think of any like anything that happened on that was astounding. Pretty mixed bag. But look at them; they're down like this. That's an anchor. That's a drag. It's hard for the Nasdaq, but there is still opportunity in the Nasdaq. One of them we thought about was Nvidia yesterday. We're like maybe, and then today it's down. So we can take this and uh, we can just kind of move and wait and see. Like, hey, when this catches, if it can stay above, I'll keep it around here at or above the 50. Then this is possible. If it drops below or the 100, if it drops below the 100, then I think it's coming back down here and we'll see what happens. We'll see, right? Um, Where was I? Did I get through? No, I got to Microsoft. It's down. Micron. Beautiful new move. Looks like it's moving into a consolidation phase. I wouldn't expect it to pull back more than about halfway to this big candle here. It's got a great trend. I mean, it's really, really doing phenomenally strong. No reason to think that on the next pullback it won't um, it won't bounce again. But waiting, patience. Netflix, just I mean, it's just like begging. It's hoping that there's some kind of magnificent subscription numbers, or it's just you know, I think a lot of people built expectations into the split. It made that was its last ditch. Like the split happened here, and it came tried to come in a little, and then just like, ooh, I mean that was a big drop, 15% almost right there. No, it was 15. Maybe a little more, and then it just keeps dropping since then. Can't figure it out. Nvidia maybe, Palantir, which is funny, right? Steven's comment, he said they need to update their business plan. So ironic because there's a famous story of the Netflix founders going to Blockbuster for like an investment. Like, hey, and Blockbuster was like laughed. They're like, no, no, no. Like there's a I don't know exact details, but you know, talking about a company that was a behemoth but needed a business model update, and then I think the last one finally closed. Does that sound right? There was like one Blockbuster video that like stayed around. And now, they turned into this giant, but now it's like, wait, are they the new one? Is there something? I don't know. Interesting. Interesting for sure. Um, hmm, let's see. The Qs are down 1.25 today. The real just kind of was interesting because I thought about this one right here, and then it's just like it's a slow mover. I should have realized. Anyway, I did not take it. Now it's going to head on up to 18. Rocket Lab. Oh, I'd love Rocket Lab to come down here. Anywhere between it could come all the way to 75. There's a good spot there. The flag would only leave it. Yeah, let's keep an eye on Rocket Lab. It smells like another trade is coming our way. Raw stores pausing at maybe a resistance level. RTX. Here's one going green. Oh, it's silver. Although silver is down from the highs, definitely continuing to move higher. SanDisk overbought, overbought. Uh, SPY 0.72%. Let's check our VIX. VIX is, and interestingly, the selling's gotten worse, but the VIX is actually at the exact same place, maybe even down a little bit. Okay, no, it was here and then it spiked a little higher and it's back down to where, okay, so maybe a little bit of a blow off top of fear. Um, it'll be interesting. We are down. Broke the opening range on this one, trying to hold up. Yeah, it's got some selling pressure today. STX. Hmm. Yeah, you can see just a grinding halt. This is one that we saw this turn, but we're like, it's so volatile. It's hard to put a trade on into the volatile entry triggers are really not that appealing. I hate them. I like a nice smooth turn. It's very disruptive on reward to risk ratio because you have to decide, right? Do I put a stop down here? If I do that, in order to get a 2 to 1, I'm looking up here just to get 2 to 1, let alone 3 to 1, right? So, and now that it's making this pause, feels nothing there. TJX could be. It got an acceleration that we were like we were looking for an entry here, and then same thing, big move up, and now it's just sort of maybe a little pause, a little hiccup. If this comes back and like test the midpoint of this candle here, a little bit lower still, and then turns, I would say, yeah, there's a nice follow up second chance opportunity on TJX. We've been seeing increased momentum in the consumer discretionary space. Tesla. Yeah, Tesla rolled over pretty quick. Not much there. Taiwan. Taiwan kind of, same thing. Big shoot up out of this flag, and then it just sort of stalled. And now you've got earnings are tomorrow after, nope, tomorrow morning. So in addition to Morgan Stanley and Goldman Sachs, we have TSM tomorrow morning. Um, oh, now look at that. Now look at that already. Look at that. Look at that huge drop in the VIX that we just got. And you'll notice the market, got a good piece, but the VIX is really showing that further. I think, it looks like this could be trying to V out of this low. You can see we tested right in this area from last week, the Thursday lows. They're holding up so far and getting a good push. Let's go back to the VIX. And you'll notice already, um, you know, it's getting closer to that candle that we drew. We said, well, at the end of the day, this could end up down here. And now it's looking, those two don't look that far apart, right? Um, so yeah. All right, let's keep going. Give me your thoughts. Give me your oh, I'm gonna get my reminder here. Oh, I got it stopped. Okay. Um, when we think about now, here's the deal. If uh if this thing holds back down here, I am not gonna take a point away for this thing testing up there. That's pressure. I mean, that's fine if it tests but holds back down where it was. I don't know. We'll see. If it can get back down below 16 and close at 16, there's a good chance. I don't know, 50-50. Maybe I take because we did get to 1.5, and those are pretty strong VIX conditions. Um, but if this holds, I don't know. I think I might leave it alone. Looks like some wars of titans going on. Yeah, there's money moving for sure right now. 100%, Gabe. 100%. Okay. Western Digital, kind of pausing there. You can see Walmart easing off of this high. Yeah, mine's gonna close if we break the high. So I'm about done with Walmart at this point. Thinking, yeah, I squeeze an extra dollar out of it. That was a great extra dollar, on that last contract. Good stuff. Yeah, I think mine just closed. All right. Um, Closed for the last piece. Let's look at the groups. Materials still just it's an interesting thing. I'm really kind of trying to decide like what is the implication of this the strength we've seen in materials over the past few months. Communication services is really stalled out. Google's still strong, but Facebook is struggling. I think Netflix is in this, isn't it? Communication services, obviously struggling. Roku's in there. It still looks okay though. Energy pushing new highs. When we see energy pushing up, when we see basic materials pushing up, there's definitely concerns of inflationary pressures um, being felt in the economy. So we're going to be mindful of that. Um, so not related. Oh, energy definitely is. Yeah, yeah, definitely related to Venezuela. Right? This was like the Venezuela news from here to here and spiked up and then it's popped even higher still. Yeah. Definitely it's definitely related. I mean, I'm no like keen oil market observer where I have strong understanding of like some of the intricacies of that. It's no similar to Precious. I watch price action, but certainly the correlation was there as it reacted to that news. Well, and there's not like a direct correlation. You'll see, I think, an impact. Um, it's not really like oil's up, gas is up, oil's down, gas is down. I mean, there's a correlation, but it's not like um, a direct correlation. But yeah, they're a decent price. I mean, out here in Utah, I think it's 240. I don't know, something like that. 230. Financials getting hit. They were holding up. They were looking strong, and then all of a sudden falling off a little bit there. Industrials looks great. That's why I said this thing uh this thing looks poised for a pullback. It's ripe from a breakout. I think industrials has some strength. I'll be looking there. That's my primary look. Technology's flat, but remember, a lot of that is the anchors of Apple and um, the anchors of Apple and uh, Microsoft. XLP concerning. What is this here? Consumer staples. That was weird. A big breakout on consumer discretionary. That's a bit of a concern right there. So yeah, we'll see how that plays out. But right now, we're seeing a drop in financials, a spike in discretionary. Industrials is holding up. Technology is flat. Um, mm, we possibly, I don't know, but we possibly could be on our way to our first negative score on our posture may come from sector rotation. I'm not predicting it. I'm just saying, you know, we're seeing some defensiveness, it seems, pulling up in that analysis. Maybe not, but that's a bit concerning. Here's utilities. Utilities is starting to move a little, but still well under. It doesn't look like there's much there. Healthcare maintaining strength. If you were thinking like, hey, Scott, you got rid of J&J, you've gotten rid of Eli Lilly. You can always trade XLV. If you want to trade the momentum in healthcare, XLV is a good one where you say, I want to try to catch one of these. It's on a pullback, maybe looking for a bounce. These last couple ones have just been like short chop, come down, short chop, come down. So I don't know. Uh, Another piece of hope on the hope side, the positive side, consumer discretionary, so led by Amazon, did get to a new high, but the breakout was bigger on the non-discretionary. I think we can all agree, right? No, that's not it. Uh, that's communication services. Basic material P. Sorry, I'm like, what am I looking for? That was a pretty big move when you look at this one versus this one. We'll see what happens. All right. Yeah, what's our thought? Keep an eye after lunch to see if we get some measure of recovery. So if you're day trading, reassess as it comes down. Good time to hurry up and wait. Exactly. Exactly. It's a bit good start to the year. I mean, there's no reason to we can wait for the next round of good trades to set up. We've got some things in the hopper. Um, nothing too bad, but I would say if anything, the posture looks like it's leaning down a little bit here, possibly down a quarter on our VIX score, possibly a negative dip. I mean, that would still keep us in the fours. And if we drop a quarter or half a point, I'm never like, ooh, that's so concerning. Concerning is when we drop 1.25 or more in 1 week. I don't see anything that's orienting that way. Uh, so manage the trades you have. Be pretty picky and choosy with the ones you're going to take right now as we watch setups start to develop. Don't be hasty. Yeah, we had a great round at the end of December. We had a great round here to start closing the started them in the I think we started two of them in December, started one in January, but closed three really well in January. Those are some big ones, right? Those are the kind that can move your account quickly. Yeah, okay. It's great to see everybody. Made a buck 15 in 9 minutes. Okay. You guys, Glenn will be here tomorrow morning to open, and then we will have our foundations Q&A sessions in the evening, and mine is oriented around searching, definitely starting with industrials. That's the core area we need to hit. Maybe a consumer, maybe some discretionary and staples as well. Maybe a good staple or two would be nice to put on there. Have a great rest of your day, everyone. As always, happy trading.